Hi everybody. Just wanted to take just a few minutes today to discuss an issue I've had with a couple pieces of gear. And I knew it was an issue going in, but I figured we could find a solution to it, and I think I did. And the two pieces I'm talking about are the Audix Cabgrabber microphone holder and the Sennheiser e609 side address mic. See if I can get this to focus here. You may or may not be able to read that. But anyway, just a couple things first. The Cabgrabber. I think it's a good piece of gear. It does exactly what they say it does. Only gripe I have about it is it is a little expensive for what it does. So do like I did, buy it on gift cards or catch it on sale or a combination of the two. Many videos here on YouTube describe how to use this, what it is, what it does, so I won't go into too much detail there. But the problem arises when you mount the Cabgrabber on the side of the cab. It is spring loaded, and you mount the mic clip on, and in a standard situation with a SM57 or an i5 or a situation such as that, the microphone will stick in here. Let me get the camera. Sort of like this right here. So it locates the mic in a proper manner, either right up against the grill cloth or an inch or two away. So it's really not that big of an issue with most pencil mics. But the problem arises with the side address style mics. What happens is, let me fix this. When we mount the mic, now, of course, I realize this is a little high on the cab, so I can flame here later for that if you like. The problem arises is that it places the microphone really way too far away from the cabinet. I mean, I've got 6 inches, maybe even 8 there. Now, just a little FYI, I did use it this way when I first purchased this setup. I knew it wasn't ideal, but I did want to see what it sounded like. And I have to admit that it actually sounded really well. Get a little air between the front of the cabinet and the microphone, and it gets really warm. A lot of the harmonics really pop, and I'm not talking harmonics from playing highly saturated distortion style guitar. I mean, I'm just talking harmonics played in a little crunch, especially playing fairly clean. A lot of the harmonics really pop like this. But as you can imagine, the problem with this much distance between the mic and the cab is there is way too much coming in everywhere else. So as once the rest of the band gets going, the drums, the keyboards, the vocals, it really picks all of that up. So that was not an ideal situation. So I set out to see if I couldn't find a solution. And before I go further, of course, having said that, we could turn this 90 degrees, turn the mic in like this as such, and get it a little closer. But as we can see, we're still a good 4.5 inches or so away. So I'm still not really happy with that setup. So I set out to see if I couldn't find at least a solution or a patch or something to this situation, because I really like the sound of this 609. My intention was, if I couldn't find a way to make it work, I was going to take it back to do and get an Audix i5 or just a regular SM57. But I really like the 609. I like the sound of it. Now, the solution that I seem to have found is this. It is the OnStage 360 degree mic mount. The model number is MM01. Let me show you what that looks like. It's basically just like a mic mount extension. This part goes to the end of the stand itself. This part goes to the mic clip. The key that makes this work is this little, about a 1 inch, 1.25 inch extension here pivots 180 degrees as well as spins. So, I really couldn't care about it spinning. I wanted the extension off of it. So here's what my solution was. So if we take the mic clip back off, we screw this on, the MM01, we screw it on, And if we screw it on, we want to try to remember to put this thing on so that this thing is, that this pivot will actually pivot in a horizontal manner. So as we screw it on, what we want to do is we want to put it in a horizontal manner, lock it down there, lock it down there. We'll put the mic clip back on, and this is the way I like to set it up. I'll turn it horizontal, the mic clip horizontal. Let me show you what I've got. Horizontal in a situation like this. And then we'll put the mic back in the clip. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. And what we have now is we have about 1 3/4 inch between the mic and the front of the cabinet. I found this to work really well. I've gigged with it several times. Actually got several compliments on my tone. Even the mic itself, a couple sound guys have actually, after the gig, have done away with their 57s and went and bought a 609 or two. But this is what I found that works real well. And I think it looks really good, and everything is up off the floor, so there's nothing to trip over. I normally try to keep all the cables running around behind the amplifier as much as possible, so there's not a lot out front, because if you gig locally, you know there's a lot of small stages we have to deal with. This again is the on stage MM01 mic mount or mic adapter. This thing runs, I think I got mine $10 on eBay. And I know what you're thinking, well, let's see, if we buy this at retail, I think the Audix is like 40 or 50 bucks. I think the 609 is like 105 or 110. And the first thing you're going to say was, why will I want to spend another $10 after I've already spent that kind of money? Well, in many situations, an extra $10 is a $10 well spent, especially to make a good setup better, or even potentially better. Yeah, you're fixing a small issue with it, but you have to remember, the Cabgrabber wasn't designed for a side address style mic. It was designed for a pencil style mic. And I like the idea of the way that it works, and I really like the sound of the 609. So I wanted to try to find a way to use the two in combination with each other. As I said before, this works really well, and I hope this has been a help to someone. Feel free to comment, feel free to email. I'll answer any questions I can. Like I said, sounds really good. I really like it. Thanks for taking the time to watch. And rock on.